Question. So y'all think that it should be that women submit to people who are not their significant other?
Wait, what?
What regards?
So you're talking about within a relationship.
So my question is this:
Go ahead.
if we're dating, right? What are we doing? What's the purpose of dating, Jess?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was because there's some men that think women should be submit to men, period, across the board, whether it's someone they're with or not. So I just want to clarify.
I mean, but they do though.
No, because the Bible says, "Wives submit yourselves to the husband, as the husband submits himself to the church." We use in biblical terms. So what I'm saying about dating is, if we're dating, yes, I think submission should be there. But if you're my friend, that's a different situation.
Okay. Okay. Because I had to make that clarification.
What was the clarification again? Because that's the way I heard it. You know, women submit to dudes even that they're not with. You do know that, right?
I'm not saying what they do or do. I mean, what they do or do not currently, but I'm talking about what is the consensus of how it should be. Should it be with the person you're with, dating, husband, whatever, or just someone, period, like men, period?
I mean, it should respectively be with. Oh, my bad. You get ready to go?
All right. My thoughts on it is, personally, I feel like a woman should. I definitely believe it's like depending on the situation, right? If you believe that men are authoritative, that they work with logic, and they're not working across their feelings, so long as if you see a man in the street and he's giving you good advice on what not to do and where to go, or ma'am, cover yourself, or yes, you should submit to that, whether you know him or not. But when it comes to some idiot that's telling you, like, just do whatever, no, you definitely have to be selective. And I do believe a wise woman will be very selective on the man she submits to, whether it's her man, husband, or whether it's just the average man on the street that's trying to give her some type of gain. So no, not every man, not everyone that she comes across like that. No, because some men will try to lead you down a rabbit hole.
Damn right. Get you down that rabbit hole, you find out that your jaw's gonna be flipped 4 times. You gotta be careful, y'all.
So how are we defining submission?
I was kind of wondering.
That's for me, or
that may be a better question. Just for the panel, how are we defining submission? Because I think that may be a better way to provide a more concrete answer, concise answer.
Yeah. So I looked it up, and it says the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person.
So put that in Leroy's terms.
An act of agreement. just being agreeable to somebody who is far more knowledgeable than yourself. That's all it is.
Lindsay, Yo, Lindsay, I saw like that face, Lindsay.
I saw her too. That shit made her sweat. She was like, "What you say?" Come on, Lindsay, what's wrong?
Clutch my pearls.
It was the far more knowledgeable part.
I saw that.
My stance is like, I'm single. We all know like the dating world is, but to have that perspective, to have that perspective that someone is supposed to give submission to another person, like as they're getting to know them. My thing is, my bills don't stop. I have a whole household to run. No kids, but I got 2 acres. I have my mortgage to pay. That doesn't stop for me. So if you're wanting me to submit to the superior power, like you got to step up and be able to be there on that level. Like I'm happy to step back and be that softer feminine side. But at the end of the day, like if you're not bringing to that table that masculine side that I need to be for you to be supportive of me, then it won't happen because I have to fix my cars. I have to pay my bills. I have to mow my lawn. I have to do all those things because it's just got to continue on. If I don't do it, no one else is going to do it.
So you got to stop dating those dudes that don't do it for you.
No, I feel you. See, look, I like that. Queen Lala, hey, Queen about to get on you before I get on you. But listen here, girl, those are all your bills. That you paying your stuff, that's you adulting. These are all the bills that you accumulated. So because you have now made yourself a financial burden, you say that you can't submit to a man that comes into your life. Well, baby, it's not his job to take care of your bills. It is his
I'm not
job to make
asking
a,
him to.
I know that, but how you explained it though, and Lizzie, look, I'm just giving you a little teeny pushback, so don't come at me with the claws now. Come on, we all family now. What I'm saying is that all those things are your things that you accumulated for yourself and about your life. That is you just adulting, all of your bills and all that, and we get it. Being an adult is a never-ending job. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try to tell ladies, you better hit yourself to the best productive man you can, because you don't want our job. Our job as being a man is a never-ending job. We don't get to say, "All right, I'm gonna hang up my hat and I quit." But for women, if you choose the best option out there, you will possibly get the opportunity to say, "Okay, I quit. I want to sit in the house. I want to make this house a beautiful home for you," because he has made that available for you. But you coming in the door with all those bills and all. I have this. I have my car. I have all that. That's your bag, baby.
But that's the thing.
To be honest,
though. Like, I just want somebody to step into my playing field. That's all.
What you mean by that?
Like, being able to take care of your own stuff, but also just being able to provide that masculine support. Like, not necessarily doing things with me or for me. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. It's so shiny. Like,
so you saying a man then, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. That doesn't sound like me. You're just describing a man.
Yeah, I want a real ass man. Pardon my French, but I want a real man. I don't want somebody that.
But a real man would want to be a provider, and that's not what you just described. You describe somebody like in a sense, like a 50-50, helping you out, doing y'all own thing, not stepping on each other's toes kind of thing.
I mean, that takes progress. Like, I'm not just going to meet a man and automatically live with them. So, like, it takes learning people for them to for you to understand if this is the right person that you want to be with. Like, I know I did bring my own bills into this, but like, I mean, we all have to live. Like,
but like what? But like what? You said you brought your own bills into this, but like what?
When it's not a factor. That's what he's trying to say.
No. I just want to know. I want to but
that was just the natural progression of life. Like, I got my education. I got a job. It was cheaper to buy a house than it was to rent one, so I bought a house, and that is what it is. Like,
all right, cool. So Lindsay, check this out. Lindsay, see, this is how much I care about y'all ladies. I want y'all to pay attention to this. It's gonna be a teaching moment right here. Check this out. All right. I know the path that you was going on. You was like, all right, once I get out of college, I'm gonna get my career. Then I'm gonna buy a house. It was cheaper to buy a house than it is to rent. But think about the consequences of that. Not knocking you for getting your house, but think about the financial burden you are now putting yourself up under to a man, the man that you want, the man that you feel like, I need this motherfucker in my life right now. He is paying attention to that stuff. Men are like excellent stockbrokers. You know what I'm saying? They only bid on items at their lowest price, not at their highest. You are at your highest right now, and it's not it's not a smart investment for a man to invest in somebody whose price is already up here. You got all those things which increase your buy-in, so to speak. Men prefer women when they're low. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's young, in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? Let's say 25.
That is 29. Wrong.
Hey.
Isn't that working? Oh, geez.
Y'all saying I'm wrong?
You're wrong.
Yo, what are you even talking about?
Hurry up.
I don't want to disrespect. Go ahead, finish the statement.
Your internet about to go out. India, go ahead.
No, I just had to interject.
No, I want to finish. I don't want to cut him off. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
He did. He was done.
Okay. The reason why I said wrong is is because Well, I guess we can only speak from the things we see around us, okay? And from my experience, from my own and other experiences, I've seen men that they either say they want like a partnership, and a partnership for them is somebody who's coming with assets, somebody who's coming with who's not a liability, but more so a asset. Like basically, they feel like a good teammate in a woman is somebody who, I don't want to say is not a renter, but a homeowner. It seems to those type of men, they seem more valuable because they can build equity with that, or like, grow financially with them more so than somebody who's just looking and stuff like that. I'm sorry, that's just what I've heard from most men.
You said men.
I mean, maybe it's just Massachusetts men, but
yeah,
I haven't seen that.
I live in Massachusetts. I know how them men are. They live with their mother still.
Yes, I'm serious. Like,
yeah, they don't move out. They want to be babied the whole night, especially in Cape Verde, man. I know how they go. But yeah, what I'm saying
is they have this mentality of
No, I'm asking you. You saying that a man wants a woman that owns a house so he can build equity with her? Is that what you're saying?
That's a portion of it, but what I'm saying is I was trying to say something in contrary to what he said. So basically you said like to some men it may look like a big expense, or I forgot how you put it, but to a lot of other people, to a lot of the men that I've spoken to, at least around this area, it's been more like, I want a woman with a house who has assets, who has something we can.
So they want to move.
Exactly. Look what you
right.
No. They have their own too, though. But they want somebody that doesn't seem like a financial burden.
You gotta stay out of Mardi Gras.
I mean, I can.
If he's trying to be a real provider, he doesn't care about if you're going to be a burden or not. He's ready to provide as a man. That's how it is. So I don't understand because they don't really care. Your house has nothing to do with him.
Right. Nope.
When God forbid, if y'all get a divorce or whatever the situation is, it's going back to you because that was your house. So he doesn't care. Mm-hmm. There's, he cares about what he's providing and what he's growing in his.
What I care about is the fact is that you are able to take.
You would think so. I agree with that, but I'm just saying.
Like if you should be able to take care of yourself as a human. But sometimes owning the house could be a detriment, because if I want to move somewhere, you got to try to sell the house. That's a whole other situation. I really just rent. We keep it moving.
Yeah. But I can understand a man wanting a woman to. Like maybe him wanting to be able to provide that for her if she don't already have it. But if she got it, why would that make a man feel any type of way? That's weird to me.
Well,
what kind of way and for what?
There was a pastor in North Carolina that we both know, Don, who told someone during counseling that
don't lead these people wrong.
That he should not move into that woman's house. He should buy his own house.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I mean, yeah.
You shouldn't move into a woman's house.
I don't really agree with that either. Yeah. I mean,
right.
But I understand that.
What are we arguing about? I mean, what are we?
Where to go?
When we think about it, we talking about basic adult stuff, right?
Right.
We're literally talking about like grown people shit. I mean, stuff. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Grown people stuff.
YouTube.
I'm sorry.
People
around like assets and liabilities.
This is a family show.
After a certain age, like I would expect you to have certain things, right?
Right.
I expect you to be able to take care of yourself, maintain yourself. I'm not intimidated by that at all. What I want to know is how you treat me, right? How do you make me feel in your energy? How do you support me in my dreams? Like those are the things I need to know. We're not talking about these assets. I actually think my opinion is a little different, right? Because I think the whole submission conversation is played, right? I think the whole idea of this whole submission piece. Submissive doesn't mean stupid, right? It doesn't mean weak. It just means that I think submission has to be skill-based, right? At some point, it's got to be skill-based. So, for example, if you are accountant, if my wife's an accountant and she's way better with money than I am, right? Why would my ego tell me that I need to make all the decisions around the money because I need her to submit to my decisions? If she's way better at it than me. If I'm way better at other things than she is at other things, then she should be able to submit in those moments. To me, the definition is, do we submit to the mission of the relationship? Like, what are we trying to get to? Where are we trying to go? Like if I'm fighting because I'm fighting for ego and power, and I used to be different, right? I used to think with my ego. I don't really think with that stuff no more because I've been married too long now. It's like I'm not gonna fight you on stuff that I know you're better at or whatever. I'm still gonna maintain a masculine frame to be able to make decisions and to be able to be responsible and to be dependable and all the things that you might want. But what I'm not going to do is fight you on areas where you have better skills than I do. I don't believe in that because I think it causes more friction than it's worth in a long-term relationship. That's my opinion. I know it's a little different, but that's just my opinion. I just don't think we need to fight over stuff that we should just be able to say, what are our skill sets? What do we bring to the table that make this relationship work? Versus I need to make all decisions because I'm a man. Like I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
No, I can rock with that.
One second before we respond to him, I would like D-May, you mind reading this super chat?
Yes, from the sophisticated jerk says, I'm about to provide y'all with half these bills. For real. Man.
Look at my guy, the sophisticated jerk.
Right.
This the name for me.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah, so to continue off of what you were saying, I agree. Like submission should be both ways. I submit to my wife in a way of, I go to work for you. I pay the bills. I make sure you're protected, provided for. You have nothing to really worry about in this world. Like when I walk the street with my wife, I have a mindset that she's walking around singing a Michael Jackson song in her head all day long while I'm sitting there literally scouring the room, making sure everybody's okay. So that's how I feel like we submit to our wives. And in return, the submission comes to the goal from her of what the relationship stands for. All right, is the family nurtured, right? How are we eating? Are we healthy? Am I coming into a filthy house where it's unsanitary, where people shouldn't even be living at? No, my wife makes sure all of that is provided for. It's not just wash my drawers because I'm a man. But I think the where we got this from, I think it got twisted because I don't think there was a lot of fathers in our households to piggyback this story of what a man is supposed to really be in a family. So we don't know most of us don't know what we're talking about. We're just talking because we're regurgitating the same thing we keep hearing on the internet. But that's my stance on it. Let's keep going.
So I do have something to say though, because you said that you submit to your wife in that way and she submits to you. But I would say, like, if you even get to the biblical, it specifically said, like, even husbands, love your wives while the wives submit. Because I think there's like a dynamic that works in that. So by you protecting her and all that is showing your love for her and, not necessarily submitting, because then if we go back to the definition, it's like yielding to a superior force. So with the man being the head, the wife is submitting to the husband, but you are loving her and taking care of her and protecting her and whatnot.
I can see that.
Yeah, as you should.
I could. You know what? I could concede to that. If you look at it in the literal sense of the definition, then yes, it is. It's more of a loving, not submission, right? But that's looking at it as literal as that. So, I mean, I could definitely concede to that one.
And here's the thing, like,
it's funny, Cho has a face. That's because I know he's looking at it only through transactional. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, like, this whole idea of femininity, right? So femininity is a superpower. Like, low key, femininity has power if it's done right. Right? That's why I hate that it's equated to weakness. Like, you can be a feminine woman no matter what frame you're in, no matter what your life looks like. You can be a feminine woman that shows up, that's in a receiving energy, that's a nurturing spirit, that's supportive, all those things, no matter what your life looks like. You can be all those things and you can get more with it. Like, you can't, if you show up to the table trying to be me, then what do we get out of that? It doesn't make it doesn't. All I want to do is fight now. All we're gonna do is fight. But if you show up as you are, as a feminine woman, then you just get more out of men. You just show up the right way, or the way in which you are naturally. It shouldn't depend on how I show up, is what I'm saying. Like, it should be who you are. And if I'm not who I need to be, then you don't need to be with me. but it should be who you are, because that's how you get more. Have you ever seen a woman get more by being more like a guy? Like, have you really seen
it's a turnoff, to be honest.
I ain't seen
It's
it.
a turnoff.
We don't deal with that.
But you see a feminine woman walk in a room, what happens? What happens? Like, a woman
God.
that has
All the men
this air, this
straighten up.
spirit. All the men be like,
They stand up.
they be good.
Like, oh.
I'm like, there she go. There she go. That's the one who radiates all this stuff. I'm just saying, it's got to be a part of who you are. And we don't even have to have a submission conversation then.
And she ain't got to be the most attractive one. She just displays that femininity, and that's what gets her. That's why people try to figure out why the girls that don't look as attractive.
I agree with what you're saying, but then the controversy for me is when I hear guys say this, which I do to a certain degree. I do agree to a certain degree, but I feel like if you're in a long-term relationship and certain things about that guy start to shift, whether it's their personality, the way they treat you, I do think that it can put a woman in fight or flight mode, and then she starts to exhibit these masculine traits that way. So it's not really she's trying to change who she is, but she came into it feminine. But then because she has to have her own back, because she feels like her man's not protecting her emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever way, I feel like she does take on this thing where it's not attractive anymore to him because she's like in fight or flight mode all the time with him. But that's just like, you know, a certain other type of way to look at it. But I do agree with what you said other than that.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, right? Is that if he hadn't made space for you because he's treating you wrong, maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship, though. That's what it really comes down to. If somebody putting you in a situation where you don't feel like you can be who you are, then like that's probably not a safe relationship for you at all.